Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another kit reveal video. Today we are looking at the Stranger. So as usual we'll first talk about the lore a bit, then we'll be looking at the cheat sheet for the kit, and finally have a quick chat about what squad he could be useful in. The Stranger is a masked Sith Lord of the High Republic era. He was once a Jedi Padawan under Jedi Master Venestra. However, he was cast out from the Jedi Order for embracing the dark side because he was training in secret under Darth Plagueis, and then he adopted the alias of Quimir, so he kind of pretending he was just a trader while he was seeking to find an acolyte. He first recruited May, training her in stealth and manipulation, but when May betrayed him, he turned to her twin sister Osha. After killing Jedi Master Soul, he offered Osha a new path, one fueled by emotion and freedom, which she accepted, becoming his apprentice in exchange for her sister's release. Now with Osha at his side and Plagueis lurking in the shadows, the Stranger prepares to reshape the Sith legacy through raw, unbound power. Now that we learned a little bit about the Stranger, but probably most of you know about him anyways from the Disney show Acolyte, now we can actually have a look at the kit cheat sheet again with my kit review videos. I'm not going through reading everything because most of these kits are very long and they give you 10% here, 5% there. So here in these cheat sheets I'm just kind of showing you what I think are the key components of the kit, just kind of taking out all the small bits and pieces that might not be that impactful. So let's kick off with his basic. So in his basic, the first time he uses it, he will gain 50 speed, and then on subsequent uses he will be gaining 1 speed per relic amplifier, and then 2 versus Jedi. Now why we want to have stacking speed on him? Well, because on Stranger's turn, if his speed is more than 250 over the enemy, then his basic insta-kills. So one concern here is in the game, will they somehow have a status icon that if I target this enemy I can insta-kill them with the basic because the speed of the Stranger is at least 250 greater than the target. Like if you will not know during the battle, right, will this trigger or not, might be a little bit more difficult to plan, so we'll have to wait and see. On top of it all, his basic as well cleanses the debuffs from himself, so that's very nice, I guess. Now his first special, you will see a theme here, right? First time he uses his special, he gains 50% health. On subsequent uses, he'll be gaining 5% health. And then the insta-kill condition on his first special is if there is only one enemy remaining, then they get insta-killed. So if you're thinking you might do a solo wampa versus these guys, obviously not gonna work, just one enemy remaining. If you're maybe thinking of undersizing, just do a Bane and a side, right? Then the side one you take down and Bane then just gets insta-killed. So definitely Bane will struggle versus this one. I mean, let's face it, Wampa's not getting a whole lot done anyways, but definitely I think this is very anti-Bane for defensive purposes. Now his other special, the first time he uses it, he gains 50% defense penetration. I wish there would be 100, but I guess 50 is okay. And then in subsequent uses, he will be gaining 5% defense penetration. And the insta-kill condition for his second special is whenever he deals third time damage to the same enemy, then they will get insta-killed. So it, I think, works similar, I guess, like CX2, where with CX2 you have to target the same enemy 3 times in a row, and then they get Order 66 applied on them. However, in the Stranger's case, he will insta-kill them. So 3 ways to actually land an insta-kill. Yikes, very powerful. And this is not a Grand Arena Omicron or anything. And so it's going to be very useful, I guess. Now on top of it all, his second special also stuns the target enemy, and then this attack ignores protection as well, so potentially could be a big hit with that defense penetration gains. His leadership, if you read it, there's a lot of things in there, he does a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but reading it, Not sure how much impactful all those small bits will be, but really the key component to his leadership is if there are no Galactic Legion allies, can be enemies, and Stranger has exactly 1 Jedi, 1 light side unaligned force users, and 2 dark side unaligned force users, then allies gain Acolyte tag. So this is really what his leadership about, giving Acolyte tag to the guys. Because actually I forgot to mention, on his first special here, he will call dark side unaligned force user acolytes to assist. So this is where kind of his leadership will help. They're working with acolyte tag. So the way this works is basically like Starkiller is unique, right? You have to have exactly specific units like Starkiller. So spoiler alert, one way to use him will be with Starkiller. At least that's what CG is kind of suggesting us. Aside from Acolyte tag, his leadership, at least outside of GAC Omicrons, doesn't really do a whole lot, at least for now. And then as well, whenever the Stranger uses a special ability, he will gain Cortez's armor. So that's like a status icon, and what this will do, whenever he's got status, whenever he's damaged by an enemy, that enemy will lose all protection, and then as well 200 speed for 1 turn. So what this means, obviously, it's pretty cool, because remember his basic, whenever Stranger speed is plus 250 over the target enemy, he insta-kills him. So this will kind of play nicely. You don't only rely on stacking speed on the basic with the Stranger, you can also reduce the enemy speed this way. So pretty powerful. As you can see, most of his abilities that are really good, not really tied behind an Omicron. Speaking of Omicrons, let's see what they do. So the first special is gonna grant Arena Omicron. So what will happen is, if all enemies fallen below 100% health at least like once per battle, so when they fall and heal back up, it doesn't matter, right? It will still count. Then the Stranger will gain massively overpowered. And then if this ability defeats an enemy, it will revive Acolyte allies. So a bit of a revive there, but a very conditional, I guess. Massively overpowered, I think this is the status buff I think that we get in the Conquest, and I believe it deals like extra damage or something. I can't remember on top of my head. Let me just double check. Yeah, so just had a look quickly, and with this effect, next time you deal damage, you also inflict massive damage onto the enemies. So massive damage used to be a big thing, but these days dealing 100k damage, especially with Datacrons that are anything like that, you know, not that big basically, but you know, a little bit, I guess. And then his leadership Omicron. This is an interesting one. It's a bit of a teaser, I guess, for what's to come. So whenever an enemy gets fractured, all enemies lose 100% turn meter. So not just the fractured enemy, which can't be resisted as well. So very powerful ability. Now the question is, who's got a fracture outside of Thrawn, Leia, and is it General Syndulla? Well, CG kind of indicated there is another character coming that will complete the squad with the Stranger, and we are assuming that that character will have the fracture. So, you know, Stranger's team will only get better, so we don't have the full picture just yet. Then when an Acolyte takes consecutive damage, they gain bonus turn. Pretty nice one. Again, the only way to get Acolyte tag as of now is if he's in the leadership, and you know, he's got all these conditions like Starkiller's unique mat. So this is pretty cool. Whenever they get hit twice in a row, boom, they get a bonus turn. And then in 3v3, just his leadership is a little bit changed, obviously. To get Acolyte's tag, you need to have 2 dark side unaligned force users. So another spoiler of what's to come, right? Because the assumption is it's gonna be in 3v3 you'll have the Stranger, Starkiller, and then another dark side unaligned force user. So we're assuming that the missing unit we will get is gonna be a dark side unaligned force user that will have an ability to fracture. And finally, Omicron on his unique. When the Stranger is damaged by an assist, he gains bonus turn meter and resets cooldowns. I don't know. I guess his leadership, right? That's gonna be the first one because of the fracture once we do get a missing character. Otherwise, the other two Omicrons, okay, I guess, but nothing too groundbreaking. Okay, so with looking at the cheat sheet, a lot of cool stuff on here. Let's now have a quick chat of what squads he can be used in. As mentioned before, this is what CG is basically suggesting us here. The Stranger leadership, use Visas, Starkiller, Barris, and then a 5th upcoming unit. What this unit will be, we don't know. Could be what his apprentice, either May or Olsha that we discussed in the beginning. They could fit in there as a dark side unaligned force user with a fracture ability, or it could be any other dark side unaligned force user for that matter. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be somebody from the Acolyte show, but it's almost safe to assume that there might be. We'll have to wait and see. Now for me, this is a missed opportunity. I was really hoping the Stranger, because he's got a Sith tag, not unaligned force user, I was really hoping that the Stranger would finally be that Sith Eternal Emperor lifter we desperately need, because he has Bane and Sith Eternal are absolutely amazing together, but Bane on his own, he pretty much does almost everything that he does with Sith Eternal, so it's kind of a waste using Bane under Sith Eternal Emperor, which kind of still makes the Emperor a bit, you know, underwhelming in this game. So I was really hoping the Stranger will fit that bill, because while true Starkiller is not getting done all that much these days, we just kind of use him with Malachus to help Malachus, right? So yes, this will give you another team, but then it'll make Malachus weaker, and it still doesn't resolve the Sith Eternal Emperor issue we're having. So again, I was really hoping for something else, but you know what, we'll take it. Definitely his kit looks a lot of fun. So in 3-3, obviously then the 5th one is the upcoming Darkside Alliance Force user. And then in 3-3 again, we'll have Stranger, Starkiller, and the upcoming Darkside Alliance Force user. And then, I mean, he's a Sith, so there's nothing stopping you from using him under Sith Eternal Emperor or with Bane, because I guess, you know, looking at his kit again, there is nothing really saying here outside of his leadership. Nothing really so specific that ties you down to just using it in that Acolyte squad, right? So insta-kills will still work, whether they are in the Acolyte squad or a safe squad or anywhere, right? So there's definitely some plug and play viability in this one. You know, if you could even go crazy, do something like, you know, Thrawn, First Order Officer, Hux, right? Then Stranger takes a turn, uses his basic, right? He gains extra speed. Thrawn gives him another turn, he gains extra speed. First Order Officer gives him a turn, he gains extra speed. Hux resets cooldowns, for example on First Order Officer. First Order Officer gives another turn over to Stranger, and then Stranger, before you know it, he stacks up a lot of speed and can insta-kill somebody. So I'm not saying this is going to be a practical use, but just highlighting that there is potentially plug and play and some theory crafting that can be done with this guy, because nothing in his kit ties him to specific things. Yeah, there are certain like Acolyte only things like, okay, his leadership, and then just calling Darkside Acolytes to assist, and as well here on this ability, I didn't put it down, but essentially if it's an all Acolyte team, it will also stun the weakest enemy, but you know, that's fine. So definitely his kit, I think, is, you know, could have potential for some fun uses, especially because of all those insta-kills. Alright guys, that's all for this video. Hopefully you found it useful and helpful, just obviously going through the Stranger's kit cheat sheet, just to give you an overview of what his abilities do and what the conditions are to trigger, especially those insta-kills, and discussing some squads. So definitely looks like a really fun character to have, but again, let's wait and see for the final missing piece. It seems like the latest two kits were about missing piece, like Forlom is missing Zakas, here we're missing another Darkside Unaligned Force user with a fracture ability before we get the whole picture. Thank you for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one, but until then have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you my friends.